Swaikab, and welcome to this video. I wanted to make this short video since I was quite impressed when I made a mistake and I was able to pull a photo from the brink of being unusable. So to tell you the story about this photo in the background, it was quite underexposed, and I believe the original was much darker than this, but it seems, at least the first time that I saw it, it looks darker than what it is right now. I think it just depends on which screen I'm using to edit the photo as well. But yeah, it's obviously quite underexposed, and the story was that I was on the SkyTrain and it was well lit. So I had like my normal settings, as you can see on the top right hand side, at 200 ISO. Even though this is the 18mm f2, I was at 2.8 and at 1/25th of a second. But when I went down to the streets, I had forgotten to change the settings. And to just mention this person, I simply took a quick shot from the waist down, seeing that this individual had a interesting blanket covering him and looking down with his hat. He wasn't a beggar. He did not have like a hat or a cup asking for spare change. He was just someone on the side of the street, just like any other regular person, let's say. And he wasn't really selling anything, unlike the two other individuals in the background on the left hand side. So with sort of APS-C, and this video is also to talk about not deleting your photos in camera, because you will never know what kind of editing you could do to recover if there was a mistake. And of course, be sure to shoot raw all the time. If I had shot only JPEG, this thing wouldn't happen. So let's just move the exposure up, and in just around 2 or 3 stops we are able to recover quite a lot of detail. And honestly, this is all I personally would ever want or need. And now when I'm looking at it again, it seems he's even playing on his phone. So it's just a quite cool thing to see. I've never seen someone sort of having a blanket over him like this, especially in Thailand when it's known to be quite hot. So in the next images that I will show is sort of the edits that I have decided to make. So the first one is a 2:1 crop, since I saw this image would fit in a wider aspect ratio. And one more is a tighter crop, and this is more of the 6.5 to 0.4 or 65 to 24 expand crop. So it's much tighter than the 2:1. And then this one is just a black and white edited version, so I wanted to hide the man's face and just show his cloth. And in the next part, I will be sort of wanting to share like my editing thought process of cropping the image to possibly tell a different story. Okay, so here we have the photo in Windows image. So this is the full image as you see right now, and I first considered the full image only because of the KFC logo just snuck in on the top left hand side, and thought it sort of gave this idea of like the abundance of food in the background compared to people outside. But then when I'm playing around with the crop and when asking for some feedback from my friends, they both and they were both separate, so they didn't know about each other's critiques, but they both sort of shows the 2:1 aspect ratio, and that the expand crop was a little bit too tight, so they wanted to see sort of more down here of his legs. And the thing with the crop is that all of this, and especially this area nonsense, is taken out. This part is also a bunch of negative and not really necessary information, even though I kind of like the logo up to the right hand side. So now that we have like a more focus in crop, we get to see this person in the background of through the glass, and that he seems to enjoy the food that he's eating, and we get to sort of see some of the food on the right hand side. And then this guy has his back turned away, so he is somewhat divided and looking away from what seems to be like a contrast between two situations. And that's sort of why I choose to save this image. I also kind of like a little bit of the light texture over here, and a couple of more people on the left hand side to give it like a sense of depth, at least to me for now. So I would like to move on and ask you guys for your feedback of what do you think of the crop itself, crop or no crop. And at the end of the day, be sure not to delete your photos in camera. Always just check later when you get back home. You have a larger monitor to see the actual image, and just experiment around. I had to do a couple of experiments here as well to get a image that I feel is cool looking and interesting to see, with a lot of different objects to look at that goes all around the image. So let me know in the comments below, and I wanted to make this short video, and that's all I have for now. So see you all next time. Bye for now.